Yeah.
You're right.
If you read it slow, it's a real dissertation.
So, Mom, Sandra, as you all know, she died after midnight on January 30th, after a year of battling cancer. And, you know, she held on right until the very end. I mean, I wasn't there because I had gone home, but from what they tell me, because they were there, you know, she was very optimistic, and she accepted her fate, and she left in peace, right? And that was the thing about her. I mean, she was a fighter, as you all know. I know that when I was a young person, you know, I'm only 26, she and my dad fought for the burial grounds, you know, burial ground preservation, Mount Diablo, as you've read. And I remember a specific incident where Mom and Dad took us out to this place out in Clayton, where they were trying to construct over burial grounds, and they were protesting. Now, I don't know if they were successful in stopping. I don't remember. But they were fighting for it. And one day, she took me and my brother out to this park in Hercules. Not Refugio, but a smaller park. And she said that this was a burial ground, but the city had agreed to build a park over it and not develop on it. So, you know, she had some successes, she had some failures in preserving burial grounds around here. But that was what she did when I was, you know, like elementary school age. She also fought to keep Native American programs alive in the West Contra Costa Unified School District in particular. For 2 or 3 years when I was in elementary school, we would go to this Native American program being held at Washington Elementary in Richmond. And it was like a once a week thing in the evenings, but you know, it was fairly active, and then it suddenly got axed because our district is poor and has no money. So she fought the district, and she got the program back, but it got shut right back down because the new director flaked, and there just wasn't any money. And she also took us to another Native American program in Martinez that she mentioned in her dissertation. And that was really, really active. I mean, there were 2 camps, one that was held in June on Mount Diablo every year, and one that was held in Orinda, Wagner Ranch, every year until 2006, when I guess it shut down. And during those camps, we would learn about Native American culture. We would make crafts. We would walk around. There were field trips. Stories from, you know, we were all from different tribes, and it was a really, really wonderful thing to see and to experience. So, you know, she was really involved. She was dragging us kids everywhere. Powwows, for example. All 4 of us have been powwowed out because she would take us to every powwow that she could. Even if we didn't, she loved them, and the 4 of us,
No, I liked them. I just didn't want to stay until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like us, not so much. We do want to go home. What's the difference between what she wanted to do? But those were very memorable experiences. She was really involved with Native American culture and history, and something else that she mentioned in her dissertation about curriculum. I'd like to give a little bit of a personal story on that. In the 4th grade, we were reading up on the section on missions, and I remember we had these handouts that we had to like highlight. I don't even remember why, but the teacher wanted us to do it, so there you go.
Right.
And we brought those papers home, and my mom read them, and she was so mad because, not to sound racist, but it was all about white people. There's nothing about Indians or next to nothing in those papers. So she took those papers and marched it to the principal, had a talk. Whatever that means to you, it happened, and the teacher pulled those papers from her curriculum, and she that never happened. That never came up again. So she was very adamant about, if you're gonna teach history, you got to teach it right. And I saw that come up in her dissertation. She had a whole section on curriculum. So that's a personal testimony. She just wasn't going to have any falsehood, any denial of culture or history, especially with Native Americans. So I talked about that. Just going by faster than I thought. Yeah, and she also took Choctaw language classes. She took us to the Intertribal Friendship House in Oakland. I mean, she was so involved that she dedicated a whole degree to it. And shortly after she got her PhD, which was only a year and a half ago, not very long ago, she said, now that I've got and this is straight from her, now that I've got a PhD, people will take me seriously, and I'll have more credibility. I didn't know what that meant until I read through her dissertation and read the part on Mount Diablo and how she was against the towers, but nobody was listening. So I understood what she meant by she had more power with the PhD, with her dissertation. And then she also wanted to try and open up a Native American health clinic in Contra Costa County. The closest one I think is in Alameda, and then there's one up in Woodland, but there's not like a local one, and she wanted to try and start one, but obviously that never even got off the ground. So that's what my mom was about. She was all about preserving the culture and getting it out there so that people knew this is what happened and this is what we need to deal with. And I would do anything to, I know that a couple of people have talked about getting this published, and I would do anything to get her work out there, and to let people know that this was what my mom was about, because she really fought for the Native Americans.